What is up you guys, my name is ThePrenti and welcome back to another video. Now, I've been away a wee while and I have a good excuse. For once, I have a good excuse. As you can see from the title, I've been in hospital. I'm okay now, well I say I'm okay now, things are getting better, but I just want to give you guys a quick rundown of what happened and where I've been, because I was in the motivation stage where I wanted to upload loads of videos. I did one on BBC The Social, by the way. If you guys haven't seen that, I'll have a link in the description. I did one on Buckfast, or tonic wine as I had to call it. Let's get on to the story, let's get on to why you're here. Why have I been in the hospital? So basically it all started like a few weeks ago and I started to have like tingly feelings, like pins and needles in like my hands, like the tips of my hands and like in my feet, and I thought, oh, that's nothing. Last year I got misdiagnosed, I can say that now, misdiagnosed with plantar fasciitis. So I thought, you know what, I'm in a new job, I've got new shoes on, they're probably irritating my feet, I'll stick insoles in and they'll be fine. So put insoles in, a few days later I still had a problem with my feet and it was actually getting worse. It wasn't getting any better, it was kind of like up my whole arm now, and it got to the stage where essentially on a Sunday my whole left side of my body was numb, couldn't move my hand. At the moment I can't kind of move it in sync, but we'll get onto that a bit later. My legs were all numb and I couldn't really walk properly. I was like, okay, I need to do something. So I phoned 111, which is like the NHS 24 line, to ask for some advice. Obviously it was a Sunday, so I couldn't just phone my doctor or GP or anything. So phoned 111 and they sent an ambulance out, and I'm like, why are they sending an ambulance out? So they sent an ambulance out, ambulance came. The reason they sent an ambulance out is because if you're numb on your left side, the two most common things are stroke or heart attack. Obviously, I hadn't had a stroke or a heart attack. I tried to explain that as well when I was on 111. Like, look, why are you sending an ambulance? I'm not having a stroke, I'm not having a heart attack, I can speak, and all that sort of stuff. But they sent one out anyway. So the paramedics came out, assessed me and all that sort of stuff, and did loads of tests, checked my blood sugar and all that sort of stuff. Things came back kind of normal, so I was like, right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna refer you to an out of hours GP. So there's one in Dundee, which does obviously every single day a week. I got an appointment at 9:30 for the out of hours GP on the Sunday. Went up there and then the GP is like, oh, I need to admit you to hospital. I'm like, what? So anyway, got admitted to hospital on the Sunday. I got admitted to the acute medical unit. That was a fun little thing that I went. That was the Sunday when the Game of Thrones started back again. So I was like, I don't want to be in hospital. So luckily, I didn't have to stay in overnight. So they did blood tests when I was there. And they booked me to come back the next morning at 10 AM to get an MRI scan to see what's going on and what's causing all these problems, because they couldn't work out what it was. Now, there is a few things that it could have been. However, my reflexes are working, no problems with my speech, no problems with my vision. I've not been ill recently or anything. So like, okay, we don't really know what's causing it. We're going to do an MRI scan on you tomorrow. We've taken blood so we can test your bloods and that sort of thing. So I left the hospital then at 1:30, technically on a Monday morning. Went home, watched Game of Thrones, obviously, and then got up from MRI scan the next day on the Monday. So was at the hospital at 10 o'clock on the Monday, and I sat there for 8 hours waiting for my MRI scan. And eventually at 6 o'clock, they're like, right, we've got a bed for you upstairs in radiology, or neurology, we're going to admit you to a bed and you have to stay overnight. I'm like, what? I don't want to stay in hospital overnight. So anyway, got admitted to hospital, woke up obviously the next day. Megs came over, brought me an overnight bag and that sort of stuff. Literally had the worst night ever. It was horrible, like could hardly sleep. It was cold, it was warm, it was cold, it was warm, and it was just, yeah, got woken up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Someone brought me breakfast. I was like, hey, I don't want to make breakfast, that sort of thing. But yeah, so my scan the next day was booked obviously on the Tuesday for 10 o'clock. So when I woke up on the Tuesday, I got someone to wheel me to my scan. Like, this seems so, like I can walk-ish, but like nope, you gotta get pushed essentially to like where you're going. So I felt like, okay, this feels kind of shit, but whatever. So anyway, got there 10 o'clock, had to wait about half an hour for my MRI scan. Got my scan, actually fell asleep inside the machine. Now that doesn't sound that impressive, but an MRI scan, literally you're in there for 40 minutes and you have like things whizzing around you at incredibly loud volume. You have headphones on, so obviously it dampens it a bit, and you get to play, like, they obviously play music as well, and they obviously speak to you as well through like a tannoy system, like into the headphones. And like even with the music on, you can still hear like all the loud noise whizzing around you. I fell asleep. So it was over before I knew it, and then like I got hauled out, I got woken up and hauled out and like, right, we need to put some dye in you. I was like, what? So essentially they had to put dye in so they can get like better readings and stuff, so they had to put dye in me, and I had to stay there for another 20 minutes, so I was in there like an hour. While they're doing all these reading, all these sort of scans and stuff. Took me out, got wheeled back to my room. I was in my room for about an hour, and then like, right, someone came to take me to X-ray. I was like, okay, I've not been told about this, but anyway, got wheeled, went to X-ray, got X-rayed, came back, and then the doctor came in about 4 o'clock that day and sat and was like, look, this is what we found. So inside my brain and like on the back of my neck, there's like scar tissues. So they don't know what's causing it yet, because that's still to be found out. So they have done tests so they can find out, obviously blood samples, what's caused the thing to happen. But so there's scars obviously in the back of my neck and on the inside my brain, because what I've been diagnosed with is demyelination of my central nervous system. So I'm gonna read you the MRI results because that is the easiest way to do it. So I'm probably gonna butcher the pronunciations, but essentially, in the brain, there are several collations of pre-callosial linear regions of abnormal signal abnormality consistent with demyelination. In the cervical cord, there is a large left-sided focal signal abnormality at C1 level. Further, smaller foci or focal cord signal abnormality are seen at T6 and T8 level. The cervical cord liaison is associated with abnormal gadolinium contrast enhancement. Appearances suggest diffuse multifocal demyelination, including an enhancing liaison in the high cervical cord. Yeah, I didn't understand any of that either. So obviously the doctor explained it in layman's terms to me. If you think of like an extension cord, and inside the extension cord, obviously you've got the outer coating, which is usually white, and then you've got the 3 wires, the earth, neutral, and live wire on the inside. Think of the wires on the inside as your nervous system, and like that, the flex on the outside as like a protective coating. So inside your body, on your nerves, there's this protective coating. And demyelination is essentially that is being attacked and stripped away. So something's attacked that and caused scars, which is the scars you can see in the MRI scan. And once that's been attacked, something's got inside my nervous system and then started attacking my nerves. So they gave me steroids to fix, obviously, the scarring and all that sort of stuff. So that's all healed. Now I just need to wait for my nerves to obviously like fix themselves, which will happen over time. Nerve endings can reattach themselves and they should be fixed. However, when they were in there, they obviously said there's multiple parts where it's happened. So it's attacked me a few times, but this time it's actually affected my nerves. So what's happening at the moment is it's healing just now. As I say, I've got about 70% functionality in my legs. My hand is a bit, I can't control it. Like, if I'm trying to grip right now, that's me trying my hardest to close my hand. Like my thumb's fine. My thumb I can like close, but like my hand, trying to control my hand, like gripping things and all that sort of stuff is horrible at the moment. Touching things with it, it feels really weird. It feels like if you sit on your hand for like half an hour and then try to pick it up and try to do something with it and try to hold it, it's that numbness feeling and it just feels, horrible. So I'm being able to use my left hand, which is kind of shit, seeing as I am left-handed. But that is essentially where I've been. So that's the process, that's what's happened to me. That's where I've been in hospital. And to get discharged out of hospital after the steroids and all that sort of stuff. So I am on the mend. So hopefully there will be some videos coming soon. In fact, I have a new series that I'm going to record later tonight that you guys should see in a couple days. And it's one similar to what I've done in the past, but I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So that being said, hopefully you have enjoyed today's video. If you have, feel free to drop a like rating. It'd be muchly and greatly appreciated. If you guys are new and here as well, please make sure you click that button, subscribe, click the bell as well to join the notification squad. If you want to check any of my social media out, guys, links to them will be in the description. Discord if you want to keep up to date with what's going on, Twitter and all that sort of stuff. On that, guys, until next time, I've been ThePrenti, and I'll see you in the next one.